Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a B&H Photo unboxing. Now, I've been waiting for this lens for quite a while now, and what I'm expecting to find in this box is the brand new Samyang 10mm f2.8 wide-angle lens for my Nikon camera. I got this lens. I actually placed a pre-order for it, and because I'm a foreigner here, let me as far as B&H is concerned, I live up in Canada, so I had to prepay for the lens. So that was a bit of a, it required me to commit to it. I thought about just waiting for the reviews or something like that, but I thought, you know what, my fisheye, I already have their 8mm fisheye. It's such a great lens. Their 14mm wide angle is well regarded, so I thought I'm just going to take this chance. So here we go. Now it's I ordered, it was shipped about 13 days ago. Wow, I really like the way B&H Photo packs stuff. This is great. And look at that. So there we go. And the box is empty. It just has some packing material on the bottom. Ooh. Okay, that wasn't good. Okay, so I got that fixed. So here we go. This is a Samyang, and it's a 2.8mm. I'm over eager here. We have the Samyang f2.8 and 10mm. So that's even faster than the 3.5 fisheye, which I find really, really fast. All right, and so this is the box, and the data is on the side here, and so it shows the biggie here for me is the angle of view for APS-C. That's for my D7100. And so for the Nikon, it's going to be 109.5 degrees angle of view. Now, I'm not sure how they measure that. Possibly diagonal, but other than that, it doesn't really say on the box which one I got, except that the sticker here, well, there's a sticker here and then the sticker here. The N, I believe, stands for Nikon. Let's put it this way, they both said N on them, so hopefully that's it. Alright, so yeah, I did the pre-order based purely on their my experience with them. And I'm really looking forward to being able to use this wide-angle lens. Okay, so a bag to hold my lens. I really appreciate Samyang doing that. I really do. Okay, so the warranty card. There you go, warranty card and instructions, which aren't really... oh, this is kind of interesting. Okay, sort of an overview of what their lens looks like. I'm sure I got that in the other one too. Alright, so I'm just going to set the paperwork aside. So, and there's the box. Okay. And there's the lens. Okay. Just about what I expected. And just to make sure, nothing else in the box. Now, if you've seen my other videos on my other channel with puzzles, I don't normally keep boxes, but for something like this, I'm just going to keep it just for a brief time, just in case it has to go back. It's unlikely, but just in case. So there we go. This is the Samyang 10mm wide-angle lens. I do a lot of indoor photography, and I do landscapes. So this is going to be perfect for both of those cases. Now this seems larger. Let's just take a look here. Yes, it is quite a bit longer, and the diameter, wow, quite a bit larger diameter. That is interesting, and I guess I should know better, but I really wasn't expecting that. That is very interesting. Okay. So here's the data on the lens. So there you go. Now, when you're using it on the Nikon or any of the so-called cameras that support CPU lenses, you have to put it on 22, which is probably why it's listed in red. And then the camera will be able to control the aperture, and all you have to do is control the focus. There you go. There's the focusing ring. Moves really nice and smooth. It's not too loose. And it has both metric and the other one. And so we can just set it. And of course, in actual use, you'd be looking through the viewfinder and using the focus confirm dot on it. But this will let you get close anyway, having that. Well, let's take a look at the actual front element here. That is huge. Wow. Look at that. And it's still a little curved, but it's definitely flatter than it was than the fisheye. And of course it has the built-in lens hood, which I have absolutely no objection to that. I think it's fine. I always shoot with a lens hood on anyway, and so it just seems to be, just something I just never really take off. So that's it. It probably would interfere if you were trying to do filters or something like that. So I can understand some people objecting to it. Okay, so that's it. What I'm going to do then, I guess, is I'm going to get this on the camera and maybe just take a test shot. I don't have a very good subject in here, so I'm going to have to go outside. Well, yeah, that's something. Now, I have this is the kit lens that came with my camera, the 18-140, the Nikon, and I actually like it, but it's a fairly slow. It's a 3.5, I think is what it is, and it's but other than that, it's fine, and it's a very versatile lens. But the 18, I live in sort of a wilderness area in northern Canada, and there is so much spectacular scenery that really it's I want to have a lens that'll let me capture it all in as few shots as possible, and I want to be able to make panoramas, do some astrophotography. I'm kind of interested in that, and so having a good wide angle prime is really something I've been looking forward to. That is a massive lens. I have to say it's quite heavy. I don't know what the actual weight is on that. Maybe it says on the box, but it's certainly heavier than the fisheye. It seems like it might be heavier. Okay, so it's for the Nikon, it's 580 grams. So half a kilogram. What is that? 1.25 pounds, something like that. That's something. Yeah, I think it's safe to say it's heavier than the 18-140. Yeah. Wow, that is something. Okay, so the drill then, once you get your manual focus lens on, you have to make sure that the aperture is set to f/22, otherwise the camera will give you an error. Then the focus mode switch on the Nikons goes to manual, and then it should recognize the lens. And yeah, so I can set it, and you can see I'm setting it no problem here. So let me set it at f8 and see if I can get a decent some sort of decent photo of just my other lenses here. Okay, and there we go. That's a fairly decent shot. So I can just kind of show you what that looks like now. Now it's kind of making it look a little bluer than it actually is, but there you go. Just a kind of a basic shot here. You can see how much this is some puzzles that were off to the side here, and some more puzzles. So, all right. So that's really nice. And what I what I don't see is I don't see a lot of distortion. Maybe just a little bit on the edges on that side. I don't see any on that side. Now, this is not vignetic on the side. I just want to point on the edges. I want to point that out. That's just my lighting. My lighting really does look like that. So this is a very dark room not really a great studio, especially for large stuff like this. I'm set up to do the smaller puzzles and stuff. Okay, so I have the lens on a camera. I have the camera nicely set up. I've taken a few test shots with it. I don't have any really good targets in here, and it's quite dark, but it seems fine. I was able to focus it, get some decent shots at least of the desk here, and the area. So, okay, so I'm just gonna go off and take some photos, and then I will come back and give you my initial impressions and show you some initial samples from this lens. Okay, we're back with some follow-up on the Samyang 10mm wide angle lens. And it's been 12 days since I got the lens. It's a long time, and the weather's been terrible. It's been overcast, it's been raining, it's been snowing, and the one sunny day we had, I had to go to a city quite a distance away. So I do have a few pictures from that day. I got pictures of walls. The point of this is that this lens is really an outdoor lens. It's for landscapes, it's for architecture, it's for big, wide open spaces. If you do have some indoor shots with this, they will also be from big interior spaces. So I am very happy with this lens. That's the bottom line. I'm really, really happy with it. It does have its quirks, and I'm going to talk about that. But really, I'm very pleased I got this. It was a bit of a chance to take, and I'm glad I took that chance. So this is a typical kind of landscape that you're going to see. This is a snowmobile trail that has kind of has seen better days in the wintertime, and lots of foreground, nice and sharp, and then lots and lots of landscape. Here's one of a lake, and you can see again I put the dock in the foreground. Really, if you try to take photos with a big wide lens like this without something in the foreground, I think it's just not going to look right. But you see that it really is nice and sharp right up close, and then all the way out to infinity. So I really like that. Okay, so here's a photo of a street, and you can see, again, I got the foreground, and showing nice straight lines in the photo. Now this one I cropped it a little bit on the right and the left, just for composition. Actually, I think on the bottom as well. But there's very little distortion in this lens. There is some barrel distortion on both the on all four sides, but really it's almost negligible, and I think that you would maybe notice it if you were photographing a completely brick wall straight on or something like that. It's really, I've not had to do any distortion correction on any of my shots for aesthetic reasons at all. So here's a shot of a train that I took. I was lucky enough to get today. Now that train's actually moving, so I used a fairly fast shutter speed, but you can see I think it came out pretty well. Got the train in the distance, and then again some of the foreground shots. So that's what this lens can do. Now I did take I had one sunny day, and I was able to take some pictures of brick walls. Here's an HDR capture of a white wall, and I used HDR in this case just because the wall was in shadow. It was noon, I think, and what can I do? I was stuck waiting around this urban area, and the first sunny day. Now this other shot, the orange wall in full sunlight, and that's just a straight shot. I did crop some stuff out of the right side, but there's no distortion correction, and what you see is what you get. So you can see that it renders those lines very, very nicely. So this was one of the few sunny days I've had, and I got out into the slushy snow and I took this picture, and I'm pretty happy with it. Now there is some chromatic aberration, some purple fringing. So far it hasn't really been bad, but I do see it in Lightroom. I just used the option to remove it, and it seems to do a reasonably good job. So here's a shot of a bridge that I took, a pedestrian bridge, and you know, the light wasn't great. I had to go out when it got sunny, so unfortunately there's some shadow issues there, but you can see the sort of potential for using this lens. Okay, and the last one I'm going to leave you with. Okay, so this is a photo I call Hello. It's an HDR photo of a wooden trestle bridge that actually goes under the main highway that goes through Sioux Lookout here. So I was down taking some shots and looking for some lines and things to photograph, and I saw this graffiti. It's very dark under that bridge, so I took a 3 exposure bracketed shot, and I actually took quite a few until I got the exposure so that my most exposed shot would show the graffiti, and that's when I stopped. So I brought that back and ran it through my HDR processing software, and this is what I got. So pretty happy with it. Now, as happy as I am with this lens, it does have a quirk that I've confirmed that other people have experienced as well. And that quirk is that in the EXIF data, it's reporting itself as a Samyang 14mm lens rather than the 10mm. Now, the focal length is recorded correctly as 10mm, but the lens ID and a couple of other entries in the EXIF data show up as if it was the 14mm wide angle. It looks like someone just forgot to reprogram the chip that they're using. So I don't know how big of an issue that is. For me, it's been aggravating when I post my photos on Flickr to have it identified as a 14mm lens. But I've just put tags that show the proper lens and a note as well on some of my photos. The area where I am a little concerned is any software that does automatic distortion correction based on the lens ID. That could be problematic. Now, if either you can turn that off or just let it apply a 14mm profile, it may not really make much difference because there is such a small amount of distortion in this lens, but it is something to be concerned about. In my case, I like to make panoramas. I haven't had an opportunity to make panoramas with this yet, but I know my Pano software does automatic lens distortion correction, so I am a little curious to know what it's going to do with this. I think it'll be alright, but it's something to be aware of, and if it's a concern for you, perhaps you might want to wait until they correct this, or until somebody comes up with a way of correcting it in the photos. I've looked at different tools that can make changes to the EXIF data, EXIF tool. I haven't figured out a way to fix it yet, mainly because I don't know what the proper lens ID and the other data is that I would be using. But anyway, so that's it. I've just decided that I'm not going to worry about it. The lens is such a good lens, and I'm really happy with the photos I've been taking with it, that I'm going to overlook that. So for me, it's not a big deal, but I can understand that for some people it might be a concern. Right, now what's the other quirk? The other quirk is that the manual says that the lens hood is removable. I haven't been able to remove the lens hood, but I tell you that I didn't try very hard at all. So maybe it's removable. I don't think it is, but anyway, the manual says it's removable. I have no reason to remove the lens hood. Well, that wraps up my unboxing and first impressions of the Samyang 10mm f2.8 wide angle lens. It does have its quirks, but I'm really happy with it, and I'm glad I got it, and I really am looking forward to some nice sunny days, some great weather, and getting out into the wilderness and taking lots of wide angle photos with this great lens. And so if you want to follow me on Flickr, I will leave a link in the description. As always, I welcome your questions, your comments, your suggestions, and yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.